Hey guys, it's Pixie Pixel here, and I want to welcome you to my little planet. So today I am doing another fact reading video. So we are going to be reading a bunch of facts about Disney World and Disney parks and Disney in general. I love Disney. It's one of my favorite fandoms, so things that I'm really into fandom-wise are Harry Potter, which we did a fact reading video on already, Disney, which we are doing now, and then a couple of other things I'm really into are like Pixar and animated films in general, and then Game of Thrones. I'm just huge on Game of Thrones. I'm also huge on cartoons, so Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon growing up were really big to me, but Disney was definitely at the top of that list. So we're going to read some facts, and I really hope that this is relaxing for you guys. And if you already know these facts, I hope that you still learned something, or that you just like the video in general. Here we go. Disney World is not so small. Disney is almost as big as all of San Francisco, which I've never been to San Francisco, but that seems ginormous. I did go to Disney World recently, I think it was last November, and it was so much fun, but it is huge. It is so hard to walk that whole park. Liberty Square in Disney World doesn't have any bathrooms. They tried to keep to the times that they were in, and at that time there would have been no internal plumbing for bathrooms to be indoors. There are a couple of restaurants in Liberty Square that have restrooms, and the way that they get away with it is that the restrooms are technically on a different Lands Park, so it crosses over into the next park, and that's where the bathroom is technically at, even though it's attached to the restaurant in Liberty Square. There are secret tunnels everywhere. I feel like this is one of the bigger known facts. More people know this one. There are tunnels all under Disney World. This is for the cast and crew members to be able to use. So since Florida is at sea level, a lot of this means that they couldn't dig down. So Disney World is actually higher above ground, and they are all on that base level, which is really interesting to me. Okay, so there are almost 30,000 Disney World Resort hotel rooms. So in order for you to stay in each and every hotel room at a Disney resort, it would take nearly a lifetime. So if you are up for that challenge, I don't even think it's possible really, unless you started as a child. The castle isn't all that grand at Disney World. So one of the more disappointing Walt Disney World facts is that there is really not anything to Cinderella's castle. From the outside, it is without question like one of the biggest stables there, but on the inside, it's just a restaurant. So Cinderella's table, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, as well as a highly coveted hotel room that's nearly impossible to reserve, apparently, is there, but the castle isn't like what you would imagine. You're not walking into Cinderella's castle. At Animal Kingdom, you will have to drink everything without a straw. So be careful not to spill because you're not getting a lid. Disney World doesn't offer either of these as protection to animals, which I think is super cool. I live in Columbus, Ohio, and the zoo here took that up as well. So there's no lids and no straws that they will give out at the park, which I think is really cool because, they have animals and they're trying to protect them. And I hate people freaking out about it being such an inconvenience. Really, you're usually bringing your own bottles of water and that kind of thing to walk around the zoo or walk around the park. So I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Okay, at Disney World, you're never more than 30 steps away from a trash can. I never heard this fact until I was watching some Disney facts that the channel The Super Carlin Brothers did, and they actually tested out that theory while they were there. So while they were walking the park, they would randomly call a trash can check and see if they had a trash can more than 30 steps away from them, and at no point did they find one more than 30 steps away. I think that's so cool. What I heard is is that it's because Walt hated trash and was like really cleanly, and like he hated other parks we would go to and people would leave trash. So he was watching people at parks see how long it took them to hold the trash until they just put it somewhere, which is so interesting to me. Okay, there are hidden Mickey silhouettes all over Disney World. They can be found on tablecloths, like literally in the cement on the ground. There are buildings, in decor places. It's really cool. You can make a game out of who can find the most Mickey silhouettes. There is no gum sold at Walt Disney World. This goes along with just keeping it cleanly and safe. You know, they don't want people spitting out their gum and people stepping in it and streaming it all over. So there's no gum sold there. So if you are a big gum chewer, you better bring your own gum into the park. In Oval Caveman-sized turkey leg, you see people like gnawing on the American Adventure Pavilion in Epcot. Almost 2 million pounds of these are eaten each and every year at Walt Disney World. Apparently, Turkey Leg Day isn't just celebrated on Thanksgiving in Disney World. Flying Tinkerbell is more than just magic. So watching Tink fly around Cinderella's castle is an iconic part of Disney World, but it's a lot more technical than you realize. So for starters, Tink needs a lot of momentum to make that flight. If not, she has to pull herself hand over hand to reach her final destination. Plus, she has to be Tinkerbell tiny, no more than 95 pounds, as her costume and battery packs weigh upwards of 35 pounds. That's crazy. Epcot features America's second largest aquarium, which I didn't know until I was reading this just now, at 5.7 million gallons. Aquarium at the Seas of is the second one. The biggest one is George's Aquarium in terms of just like sheer size. So this is at Epcot's Aquarium of the Seas. Say that a couple times, you'll get tongue-tied. Epcot's Aquariums of the Seas. Okay. Canned Terror. This one sounds interesting. In my opinion, the Tower of Terror is the most thrilling ride at Walt Disney World. That's the reader saying that, but it was a really fun ride. Those sudden free falls are just really intense. So one of the little known Walt Disney World facts, though, is the screams you're hearing on the ground and around the park aren't real. So sure, some of them are, but to induce the more like fear-filled ride, a majority of what you're hearing is pre-recorded. I know I was screaming when I was on that ride, so mine was definitely loud and real. That was so much fun, but definitely scary. Main Street USA isn't so patriotic. American flags are required to be raised, lowered, and flown at half-mast due to regulations. As a result, each flag on Main Street USA is missing a star or a stripe so that it can be flown permanently at any time. That's kind of like sad, but understandable. So they can't, keep up with all the flags that are there. So they just found a way so that they didn't have to follow those guidelines, but could still seem very patriotic and like USA. Both Animal Kingdom's Expedition Everest and Disney's Hollywood Tower of Terror are built just shy of 200 feet. This is due to the fact that any building over 200 feet would require red flashing aviation lights. So they didn't want to put those on the buildings because it would take away from the Disney experience. So they're just shy of 200 feet. They're 199 feet to be exact. So they like just skirted through that. Sadly, when the Pirates of the Caribbean was being built, an Imagineer named George was killed. Legend has it that his ghost haunts the ride to this day, and many cast members will say goodnight, George, at the closing of each night, just as kind of like a superstition to prevent ride closures the next day, which I think is super interesting and really fun. That's just like a sad but interesting fact. It kind of like gives the ride a lot of like history and I don't know, just kind of like an oomph to the ride. So Disney's Hollywood Studios was actually a real studio. In its original form, Disney's Hollywood Studios was a real studio, not a theme park. So, show like the Mickey Mouse Clubs were filmed there, and it was just transformed into its current iteration eventually. During the holiday season, more than 1,500 Christmas trees are on display throughout all of the Walt Disney World parks. In addition, there are miles and miles of garland used to turn the park into the winter wonderland that it becomes. There are over 500 trees around Disney World theme parks. They all started as acorns from the Liberty Oak that featured as the centerpiece of Magic Kingdom's Liberty Square. So there are over 500 trees that came from acorns from that tree. That is so cool. I love that fact. Epcot is more than just a theme park. In fact, it's a real working garden producing 30 tons of fruit and vegetables each year for park visitors. That's amazing. I had no idea that they actually produced fruits and vegetables on site that they then use in the parks. That's really cool. Disney World has only ever closed 4 times since opening in 1971. The first was for Hurricane Floyd in 1999. The second was for the terror attacks on 9/11. And the third was for a power failure in 2002. The fourth, however, was for Hurricane Matthew in 2006. Interesting enough, though, it took less than 30 minutes to evacuate thousands of guests on 9/11. It's amazing that they were able to do that so quickly. And it's amazing that they only closed 4 times since 1971. Did you know that U2 was the original choice for Hollywood Studios' Rock and Roller Coaster, but they declined the offer and the rest is history. So we have the Aerosmith right now because U2 turned it down, which is crazy. They're probably beating themselves over the head for that decision. If you connected end-to-end, Mickey Mouse ears hats would span over 175 miles. That is a lot of Mickey ears. Mickey Mouse has quite the fashionable wardrobe. Almost 300 pieces fill his closet. Minnie's is worth around 200 pieces, and his team in comparison to Mickey's. When Disneyland was first built in California, it was to include a land for Wizard of Oz, but it never got completed. The Toy Story characters used to drop to the ground when guests yelled, "Andy's coming!" But the practice was stopped when the joke became famous on the internet, and now the handler simply says, "Andy's already left for college," which is super, super interesting. I've never actually tried it. I've been to Disney World and to Disneyland. I've never actually tried that, but I had heard of it and I had seen videos online where that actually happened. But yeah, I guess that makes sense because it becomes too popular and people are constantly doing it. It becomes really annoying for the characters to have to do if they're in the middle of talking to a child. It kind of takes away from that child's experience. I mean, it's probably cool for a second, but they have to then move on. That's really annoying. When it rains, guests standing under the spaceship Earth will not get wet. They sign in the drainage system. So there's this huge, just kind of ball of spaceship Earth, and just the way that they've designed all the ribbons means that you won't get wet, which I think is super cool. The pavement between different worlds in Disney parks change suddenly. These are sensory tricks that startle you and make you look up so that you'll see what park you're actually walking into. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I don't know that I ever noticed that while at the parks either, that they do that. Okay. Disneyland and Disney park employees are required to point with either the entire hand or 2 fingers. This has become some cultures see pointing as disrespectful. So instead of saying the bathrooms are that way, they have to either say the bathrooms are that way or the bathrooms are that way. If that makes sense, they have to point with the whole hand or 2 fingers. I've never heard that that's disrespectful in some cultures, but I can understand that. Costume characters are actually discouraged from giving adults high fives, and this is just because I think it takes away from the Magic and they're just high-fiving dads all day. The Magic Kingdom in Florida is actually built on the second level of the park. The first level is a network of utility doors built to allow costume characters. So these are those kind of underground tunnels that we talked about earlier, but specifically for Magic Kingdom, this is where like costume changes and things happen, and they can also transport trash. In the current design in Epcot's World Showcase at Disney World, there are 8 spaces open for 8 more countries. I hope they keep adding more. I loved Epcot. It's actually probably my favorite park that I went to. I've only been there once, and I went with some friends, and Epcot was so much fun. The skull on the headboard in Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean is a real skull, apparently. I have not fact-checked this. That's super creepy to me. I don't think I like that. As of 2014, Disneyland has had 3 unscheduled closings. So the National Day of Mourning following President Kennedy's death was one. In 1994, Northridge earthquake, and then again they closed on September 11th during the terrorist attacks. That was Disneyland closing 3 times compared to Disney World, which is closed 4 times. Disney jail is a real thing, but it's more of a holding area for disruptive guests and also for thieves, because they do prosecute thieves at Disney World and Disneyland. There's a hotel room inside of Cinderella's castle, which we talked about as one of the things that kind of makes Cinderella's castle a little bit disappointing. But the room is also almost impossible to reserve because it's always used for contest winners. This is one. There's one also in Disneyland above Pirates of the Caribbean that's used for contest winners. 14 of the original rides from Disneyland's 1955 opening are still in operation. The statue of Cinderella looks sad to adults, but from the point of view of a child, she's happy, smiling, and she's wearing a crown. I did not know this. I also don't know that I noticed the statue looking sad to me, but I didn't see it. I think I actually have a picture with the statue in Disneyland, so that's interesting. Richard Nixon's famous "I'm Not a Crook" speech was given at Disneyland in California. The Tinkerbell that flies across the sky during fireworks show is sometimes a man in the costume, which I find super cool and inclusive. If there were an actual mountain, Space Mountain would be the 3rd tallest mountain in Florida. So I don't know what mountains are taller than it, but if it were considered an actual mountain, it would be 3rd tallest mountain. There are vents on Main Street that pipe actual vanilla scents into the air during Christmas. They use peppermint, but every other time of the year it is vanilla. That's just to keep like the smell like nice and fresh and clean. And that's a big overwhelming theme for Disney, is that they really want everything to be clean and sanitary and nice and crisp, and I love that. Also, if you hear code V over the systems at any point in time, that is code for vomit. It is probably an easy one to deduce, but that's interesting to know in case you ever hear it. I wanted to head in that general direction. Steve Martin worked at Disneyland between the time he was 10 and 18. Among other things, he was a magician, which is super interesting. He's just apparently always been an entertainer. When it was first built, Tomorrowland was supposed to represent the far-off future of 1986. That's super interesting. During the park's first year, real ammunition was used at the Penny Arcade's shooting gallery. That is terrifying in today's day and age, but things were different when the parks first opened. Disney parks are constantly repainting and touching up nightly to make the park look pristine. They also employ undercover security to prevent vandalism and graffiti. Again, it's just one of those things where Disney has got to be top notch all the time. They have to be, the best. They have to be clean. They have to be pristine. And that really does show. It's something that you may not think of all the time, but you would notice if it wasn't. The drawbridge image of Disneyland Castle works, but hasn't been used since 1983 and only once before that during the grand opening. Can you imagine what event may come eventually for them to use the drawbridge again? It's going to be like some huge, epic event, but I want it to be used because I think that's really cool, like a real working drawbridge. Okay, guys, well, I think that is all that I am going to do today. So, I'm really glad that you were able to join me today for some Disneyland facts and Disney World facts. I love the Disney parks, and I really enjoyed talking about them and reminiscing about being there, even though my first time to Disney World really wasn't very long ago. But I went to Disneyland, I think in 2012 or 2013. And I love Disney, and I fell in love with the parks, and really excited. I'm trying to plan a trip up back there this year, so we'll see if I make it out down to Disney World. I have a friend who lives down there, so I want to be able to see her and be able to visit the parks. So I really hope that you guys liked today's video, and if you did, go ahead and click that like button down below, or subscribe to the channel to see more videos like these. I love doing fact videos. They are by far my favorite videos to do. So until next time, thanks for joining my little pixie planet. I hope that I get to see you again. Bye guys.